from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the National. We'll see Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's
development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second and very short, Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at third down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Carr. And that will be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. K.J. Osborne deep for Minnesota. And taken right on the 30. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball. But you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early. I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Hunter Renfrow deep to return for the Raiders. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and out.
And
now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Danielle Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Another try after the first down sack. Carr. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. To throw, it's Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Looking here for Smith downfield.
Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get him for a short gain.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Joseph's got it. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Joseph now to kick this one away. Jalen Richard now on the return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Raiders offense ready to go. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Carr going to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. To throw, Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
On first down, Drake. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Carr, a handoff here to Drake.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Carr going to give it to Jacobs.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd and short, Drake. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
On 2nd and 9, Carr.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field.
Touchdown Raiders!
Kenyon Drake from 10 yards out, and the Raiders have taken the lead.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. The Vikings ready to go again on offense.
And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Cousins.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Again, it's Cousins. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Cousins now.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. It's caught. Smith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. To throw is Cousins. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Smith. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Cousins again. His throw caught right around the 6. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Working out of the gun, Cousins. This is caught. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a strong first half from the veteran QB, Derek Carr. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone, and Abdullah will not try to bring it out. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter, and they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Cousins to throw it. That is caught by Thielen. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Bust through the tackle. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. From just shy of midfield, Cousins quickly to Thielen here. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. play action. Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Not much there, only a yard. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
Play action now. Cousins. Open man. Once again, it's Thielen. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21. A good pick up there of 20 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward. And he lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered. Boy, a rough time for a turnover there. They give it away on their first possession of this second half.
And what makes it worse, Brandon, is that they've already given away the lead in this quarter on the touchdown drive a minute ago. Now they run the risk of really falling behind unless their defense can bail them out a little bit. They'll be cheering for them hard from the sidelines.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. So that'll back them up 5. Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and it'll be second and very short.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defender.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. C.J. Ham taking it in from a yard out. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
I like a fancy playbook as much as anyone, but sometimes certain situations, they just call for doing the basics.
And that's what they did. Gave it to the big boy, and he got in for 6. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Jalen Richard going to take it out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
6 yards left on second down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Throwing his Carr on third down. Throw left side complete. That's Drake. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Second and 5 now. Carr, man open, that's Henry Ruggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Carr. And he hits Drake. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Carr now on 1st down. Escapes the sack. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession.
Well, partner, it was a slow start, but boy, the numbers here in the second half.
Well, they're kind of telling the story right now, aren't they?
Not only they're telling it, they're shouting it, because now he sees the opportunities that are coming his way, and it doesn't matter whether it's 1 or 100, he's going up and getting the football.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and it's 3rd and short.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake. And now it's 2nd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Here's Carr to throw. It's brought incomplete. It's John Brown. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Carr now to throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Now Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, They're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Carr to throw again. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Now Carr. Quick slant to Brown. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider 1st. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Carr completes it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Now Carr. Crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play, and they got it right there, partner.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, it's Cook. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and that will come the offense as they take over. So Carr and the Raiders now down 10-7, a minute 6 to play. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Open man, that's Renfro. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Here's Carr. Gets this to Waller. 7 yards, the pickup there. Would be a long field goal try from here as they try to hustle to the line. Carr to throw. And he'll go underneath here to Drake. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.